Hello, everyone, and welcome to YUCI Talks. I'm your host, Angela Crockett, and today we are speaking with Jessica Mikayla. Jessica let me read this little quick bio just to give you a little peek into who she is. Unique, vivacious, and undeniably talented teen actress, comedian, singer, known as a triple threat in the entertainment, television, film, and voiceover industry. She is definitely someone to watch. We're going to also be on the lookout for Jessica's new animated film, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, available on Disney Plus December 3rd. Jessica, welcome. Let's jump right into this impressive background that you have. Tell us, what is it like to be an actress? I want to know. I can't even imagine me being a Hollywood actress, let alone a teen. So, tell us all about that.
I mean, I started when I was 6, so it's been 10 years, long time. But
Wow.
it's my passion, It's my favorite thing to do. Being on set or in a voiceover booth is like my happy place. So I mean, it's different for everyone, but that's my home right there.
Wow. Wow. That's your happy place. What did you just wake up one morning at 5 or 4 years old and say, Mom, this is what I want to do? What's the inspiration?
Okay, crazy story. I'm still really into like 90s shows. I don't know why. I guess because my brothers are a lot older than me, so I'm gonna blame them. But I loved Full House so much, and there was an episode where DJ did a commercial audition. And I was like, Mom, I want to be like Donna Joe Tanner. So my mom took me to a theater class, and down the hall from a theater class was a on-screen like acting class, and he came and watched the show and asked me to join the class. And I was like, I'll leave this one and go to that one. That's fine. So I went to that class, and they had agents come and watch us perform, and one asked me to sign, and I did, and I got my first commercial like 3 or 6 months after.
Oh, so you did commercial work first,
Yeah,
and then it segued into acting.
yeah. It was like I did auditions for everything, but when I was little, commercials were like my thing, and then I slowly got into more stuff, and now I've been doing a bunch of voiceover, which I'm happy about. But
Pretty cool. That's exciting. Um, who's your favorite actor and actress?
okay, I don't have like a top, but I'll say my top three.
Hmm.
I love Viola Davis, Samuel L. Jackson, and Ryan Reynolds because Viola Davis, it's like you can see how she's feeling through her eyes, and then Samuel L. Jackson is just like with his comedy. I'm just like, Mom, are you sure Samuel L. Jackson isn't my father? I'm like, come on now. I just want to be Samuel L. Jackson's like daughter, niece, granddaughter, and something like one day. That's a goal. And then Ryan Reynolds is just funny. He goes out there. He doesn't care who's watching.
Seems like you're that way too, honey. Have you ever met Samuel Jackson and Ryan or any of your favorites?
I haven't met them yet, but I have met Denzel Washington, and I was so happy about that one.
Really? Were you acting like a fan, or did you act like, you know what, I'm a colleague just like you?
It was, I'm a little kid and I'm just gonna go ask for a picture and walk away. But then he gave me a pep talk about how treat everyone like equals. Celebrities are still people. And I was like, that stuck. So it's like if I meet someone that I like look up to, sit there, have a conversation with them, leave an impression.
That's pretty cool. You worked with some pretty cool people. Yeah. Name a couple of those names that you've had the
Um,
pleasure of
I've
working
met
with.
I forgot where I was, but I met Zendaya through a parking gate. I, I also met Ross Lynch through a parking gate. I just saw him walking and I screamed, "Hi, Ross Lynch!"
Do they
Um,
know who you are, Jessica, when they see you? No? Okay, all right.
I used to dance at Debbie Allen Dance Academy. So I met her, Raven Simone, Tisha Campbell, Tashina Arnold, and that was a good way to meet like black actors.
Well, I'm impressed. What do you think? What do you think some of your best work is at when you scan? your career, and it goes back to you being a very little girl. What do you think one of your best moments were?
My best moments was actually from this year because I've worked a lot this year. Um, I have a I'm gonna be in a Disney Junior show that's coming out soon, and I'm a lead in a Disney Plus short film that's coming out soon. And I'm like, well, hey, those are like my best things so far. And another thing that I think is my best is even though comedy is like my strong suit, I've been doing so much better with like the really dramatic roles where I have to sob and cry, panic attacks, which always is the hardest for me, but that's where I go farther.
How do you make yourself like if it's a sad scene? What kind of mindset do you put yourself in to actually have cry real tears?
Um, I usually I just think about things that are like hard for me in general. Like I think about my brother that sadly passed away when I was younger. So I think about
Go into, and we will go into
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
So I think about that. I think about how that felt and how like it took me a while to like cope with it. So it's just like a stare off into space and just think. And then my acting coach just starts the camera when the tears start to fall, and she thinks it looks real. Yeah.
What you know? I think about even like when I had to read your bio, and even though I read a couple sentences, it I didn't remember it. Of course, I didn't practice all week. Is it hard to remember lines? Because I can see me now. I would be stumbling, all over the place.
For me, it's easier to remember lines than remembering to do homework, because I've been doing it for so long. That's like give me 15 minutes and I can do like 3 or 4 pages. But I'm like, what did I eat yesterday?
Wow. You can remember 3 to 4 pages quickly, you're saying.
hmm
Yeah, you were born to act. You were born to be in front of the the television screen for. Is it a difference between television, doing television series work versus film?
There's a big difference because one, it's like the cam works different. There's single cam and all that, and then there's film. But and obviously it depends what type of show it is. Because if it's a drama show or comedy show, it's gonna be it can have the same feel as a movie. Nowadays, you could tell the difference between a show and a movie, but now it's like shows are dramatic, shows are super funny now, and it's like the feel can be the same, but there's nothing like I love going to the movie theater. That's one of my favorite things to do. So it's like I may like watching a show, but nothing can be going to the movie theater and turning off my phone and watching
Okay.
something.
Okay, that's a beautiful thing. And so on that note, do you have a regular teen life? Do you do things that teenagers do? Or is
Yes,
it just acting
I I
and
go to
school?
I go to regular school. I was homeschooled for middle school, but when I started high school, I went to regular school. And funny enough, I became friends with all the film nerds at my school and the theater kids. So it was just like I found people that I saw the same interests with because they like acting and they like making little short films at school. They even made one at my birthday party last year. They made a little short film while they were waiting for me to show up to my birthday party. But like I love hanging out with them. I like cooking. That's really fun for me. And I love roller coasters, so I go to Six Flags a lot. And I'm really close with my friends that I met through acting are like my closest friends.
And that's, but what about the kids in school? Do they like look at you and like think, you think you're really cool because you're in entertainment,
Oh,
you get to meet
oh,
all
they
these cool
treat me normal.
people, or do they?
They treat me normal, but they do like to tease me about it sometimes. They're like, "Oh, let's go through your Instagram or let's go through your IMDb. Let's read your bio." Or my mom made 2 hashtags, hashtag Jesstober for my birthday month, and then hashtag That's So Jess. So every time that I do something, they're like, "Oh, that's so Jess." Or when it's time for October at 12 a.m., they're like, "Happy Jesstober." So they tease me like that. But other than that, I'm normal.
No, well, you look like you just enjoy it. You don't. It's not embarrassing or anything to you. You just take it with a grain of salt.
I try my best to. Don't get me wrong. It's like it's I love acting. It's my passion, but it's not like I'm gonna go around and like talk about it 24/7. It took a long time for them to find out I act at my school. And usually when I meet people, I never bring it up. Most likely my mom's gonna be like, Jessica's an actress.
Oh,
But
mom does that. Okay.
yeah, I'm like,
Mom's
but
proud.
doesn't come up.
Wow. What's been your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration is, like I said earlier, people that tell stories with their eyes, or like you can see how they're feeling through their eyes. Like I watched the Batman with my brother, and it was like that was one of the things where the whole theater was just silent, was just watching, and you could tell like how Robert Pattinson was feeling, was like just through his eyes. Viola Davis does that too. That's why I love her. I can't wait to see Woman King. That's gonna be so good. But you can just see how they're feeling through their eyes. Other people can tell stories, and obviously my mom and God been there since day one. Biggest supporters.
Yes, yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Um, what do you want to be? Do you want to act the rest of your life? Or do you want to venture off into something else? You want to go to college? Do you have other thoughts in mind?
My plan is to keep acting and go to college for business in the entertainment industry so I can learn the business side as well. But the plan is to keep acting, and then when I'm older have like an acting like school or intensive in a way where they can learn acting, writing, directing, producing, editing, casting, all the things. Because usually
Excellent.
schools in intensive are for theater, so it's harder to find classes for on screen.
And I think I think you live in the right area for that. I
Mm-hmm.
know New York is pretty cool too, but living in California,
Yeah,
do you live, where do you live? Like Hollywood or LA?
I'm in like the Santa Clarita area.
Are you? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah. Okay. And nothing wrong with that.
Yep,
Now,
it's just a little drive.
it's a little dry, but sometimes we need dry. Especially living an exciting life like you.
A lot of gas
Just,
money.
yeah, I'm sure. But you make all the dough anyway, so you're good. You
Yeah.
can afford that, honey. Let's shift gears a little bit, and I think it's important for people to know about this. And I know it's something that's very important to you. You lost your brother to gun violence. How has that impacted your family and you personally?
It's like, I mean, losing a big part of your family. It's like my family's never going to be the same, but we're slowly like trying to build that relationship back. But it was very hard for us because he was like the one that was like, if he was the one that was friends with like everyone in the family. And then he was like my older brother who was still at home. He was like my number one supporter, my best friend. Like, if there, I know I used to take gymnastics when I was younger, when auditions weren't as heavy, and I used to see all my friends have their dads there. So he used to come and watch me because everyone else had their dad there. That was like that was like my best friend. So it was obviously going to be really hard for me to go with that. But coping for me was being there for everyone else, and that made me feel better.
That's powerful to hear you say. How old were you when your brother passed?
I was around 8 or 9.
That's extraordinary strength. How has it affected you personally?
But personally, I mean, like that was my best friend, so like it made me want to work harder to make him proud. And we're both me and both my brothers are like really into like superhero movies, so it's like we got. I do want to be in the MCU at some point, but that's a goal. But just make him proud, get there, do it for him, try to do my best to. I am really big into like gun violence. Anytime I get a chance to do a project, like a personal project, it's about gun violence, and I've been learning more and more about it throughout the years, and I do want to become an advocate for it when I'm older. I know I am a little bit, but like really get out there when I'm older, because it hasn't been getting better. It's been getting a lot worse, unfortunately. So I want to like go out there and help.
And let's set this record straight. Your brother, is your brother's name Keon?
Yes.
Yes. He was not a bad dude.
Mm-mm.
This was not no guy doing things that bad people do, that these things happen to, or you expect. Not that we want this to happen to anyone. This was a good guy.
Yeah.
Did he play football? He was just really on his way.
Mm-hmm. He was a college
And then this,
He was a college football player, and he was going out to go train, going on a jog, and things happen.
yeah, things do happen. But this is propelled. This obviously you're turning this into a healthy way of dealing with it by helping others, and and really becoming an advocate for it.
Yeah.
And Jessica, sometimes this is probably one of the saddest points I'm about to make in life. It seems that when bad things happen or tough times, it's really what squeezes out the best in us,
Right.
and pushes us into purpose.
Mm-hmm.
If you understand what I mean when I say purpose, it takes us outside of ourselves, and we become compassionate for others and want to help others. And I think that is, a tremendous responsibility. And it looks like one that you're definitely walking into and carrying. And to hear you say that at that 8 or 9 years old, you're able to try to help mommy, help others who were crying like you, but you stood in that role. I salute you for that. I do. I really do. God bless you. You're welcome, honey. On that, what would you like? And it's probably going to be along this lines. But what would you like to do personally? What change would you like to make in this world?
Obviously, the gun violence, because that's a big thing that's killing people in general and the Black community, and and Black on Black crimes, because those aren't talked about at all on the news. But just everyone just banding together, because I feel like it's just so big that if we just all just agreed on one thing, it could be put to an end. But unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen, but we can get as close as possible to it. So
yeah, that's true. So you want to make the world a better place by less violence, and people, being able to have differences, but be able to talk through differences and not let it escalate. Yeah, powerful. And that your platform obviously will give you a voice to be heard, through that. What message would you like to share with our audience that are interested walking the walk you have walked as far as your career is concerned? What advice, inspirational advice, would you give them?
Acting is just a giant game of being rejected over and over again, no matter. But you gotta like roll with the punches, and even though you might get a billion no's, there's always that one yes. I know I hear that from teachers a lot, and that's what like helps me keep going. Even when I get close to like really close to a yes, that's like okay, I got close to a yes. Now let's go do this one, and let's get even further. So there's always a bunch of no's, and it's a giant game of being rejected over and over and over again. And this helps you build like really tough skin. But like there's always gonna be that one yes somewhere. Someone's gonna say yes to you.
And you've had a lot of yeses, but there's a bunch of no's. That's preparation for life. That's like sports.
Yeah.
Sport teaches you, how to be a team player and how to accept when you lose. Because being able to lose helps you be a great winner.
Yeah.
And a lot of no's. So there's obviously more no's than yeses in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I think that's what people, and so I guess you would say, don't get discouraged. You still keep going. You still keep forging ahead. if you dream it, you keep moving no matter what, because there is always going to be that yes
Mm-hmm.
somewhere.
Somewhere.
Have you got to know that you really were like, oh, darn, I really wanted that bad? Or did it just roll off your back?
A lot of them roll off my back. It's always been like that because obviously you're not going to get everything you audition for. But like some of them, they once we get really close to a yes are the ones that hurt more. But that also are the ones that like lift you up more because you know that, okay, that means I'm getting a lot better. That means I got a few yeses or a few no's away.
Is there ever a job that you didn't audition for and then it's like, you know what, she's that our girl. We want her for this. Does that happen?
Can you say that question one more time?
Have you ever had a job that you did not audition for, but they called you and said, you know what, we want her. She's our girl.
Not like direct booked, but it was just like I love hearing when they say, "Oh, the casting director specifically asked you to audition." I'm like, "Oh, they know about me." But I like it when I do voiceover auditions or on-screen auditions and they specifically say we wanted you to audition for it.
Tell us some of your voiceover work that you've done.
I've done Diary of a Wimpy Kid that came out last year, December. Oh my God, that was almost a year ago. Wow. Okay. I have a Disney Junior show that's gonna come out eventually. Don't want Mickey Mouse to show up at my door, so I'm not gonna say anymore. But I've done Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which that's something my friends do like to tease me about. But that's something that I'm really proud of because I am a big Spider-Man fan, so I was really excited about that one. And yeah.
Oh, pretty exciting. You have a beautiful smile, beautiful spirit.
Thank you.
Keep that all your life. What would final thoughts would you like to leave with her? It can be anything that you feel that you would like to share.
I mean, don't stop chasing your dreams because of all the no's and the yeses. But like, I don't want like no's to be like discouraging or like you stop because you hear so many no's because there are yeses out there. But yeah.
And I know that was your final thought, but what keeps you grounded? And meaning when you hear the no's, what has been your anchor where you didn't let it affect you negatively and that you were able to just forge ahead and just know that you're going after the yeses and that's all that matters? What was your
I
anchor?
think God is probably my biggest one because I am really active in my church and I've been teaching children's church, helping teach children's church for the past year. And that's like hearing that constantly is like a big help and like just having things to look forward to.
That's beautiful, honey. Thank you for that. I really, appreciate you joining us today. I appreciate your mom. Please give mom my best. I've been following you for a while. Never had the opportunity to meet you personally, but this is yeah, this is personal as we're going to get for now. Anyway, you worked at an event um, a while ago on the red carpet that I couldn't be there, but I knew you were there and handling your business, and I still have pictures of that to this day. Jessica, we do appreciate you here at YUCI Talks for sitting down with us and talking about you, and especially sharing about your brother and how that has impacted you. I know that's a very sore and tough subject, but we want you to be able to speak about that because that's a very real part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also important that people are able to see how young people who do go through some bone crushing situations are still able to make healthy choices, make healthy decisions, and do the right thing, and just catapult and allow that pain to catapult them into something that's bigger than themselves, into greatness. And for that, we applaud you. We don't only applaud your work, your film work, your television work, your voiceover work. We applaud the young lady that you are and who you are becoming. We thank you for being here with us today. Where can everyone find you? Is there a website, a social media platform?
My website is thatshowjess.com, and then my Instagram is Jess M Adams 10, like 10.
Well, there you have it. And we, again, thank you.
Thank you
And
guys.
yes, absolutely. You've been a pleasure. And there you have it, everyone. Have spoken to Jessica Mikayla, who is a precious spirit, precious young lady who is just doing some amazing things in the entertainment industry. And we appreciate her taking the time to speak with us today. And as always, everyone, please, if you want to learn more about us here at the Youth United Council of India, please visit us at www.youthunitedcouncilofindia.org. And until we meet again, create an amazing day for yourself. Ciao.